Hi guys, this is Miss Eisencraft and I'm here to talk about Outliers. This is a review for the Unit 1 exam in Algebra 1. This is the second standard. So first of all, when we talk about what an outlier is, it is just an unusual piece of data. It could be kind of extreme. And how you determine if it's actually unusual enough to be considered an outlier. One calculation is shown right here. So what the heck does this mean? It looks like they're finding the upper boundary. So they probably want to test, is this an outlier? So one way we learn to test if something is an outlier is to first take the data, identify the interquartile range, which is quartile 3 minus quartile 1, a simple subtraction problem. So 76 minus 62 is 14. Once you have the IQR, right? IQR, boom, boom, you're going to take that number and multiply it by 1.5. Okay? I believe that's 21. So once you get this number, you take that and measure this distance away from quartile 3 to find your upper boundary. We're not going to test the lower boundary on this. It doesn't look like there's a lower outlier. So we're just going to go 21 above quartile 3. So we're going to take quartile 3, go 21 above it. That was 1.5 times the interquartile range. And there is our upper boundary or upper cutoff. So anything past 97 would be considered an official outlier in this situation. So we got 97 right about there. And yes, this maximum value here, they calculated that to be an outlier. Okay, that doesn't mean we necessarily throw it out, but it's important to kind of look at where that information came from. Was it a mistake or what's going on for a lot of different reasons? So it's always important to look at outliers. But something else we need to notice is what does it do to your statistics when you include it? So if we look, this is the same data. The one above has an outlier included. The one below does not. So basically, it looks like they threw out 112. So when they threw it out, okay, if you look, the median still stayed the same. So that measure of center was pretty resistant to the fact that there was this crazy, piece of data up here. So that would tell us that if there are outliers, a good measure of center to use is the median, because it really didn't matter when we kept it in or threw it out. So it's pretty resistant. The mean fluctuated. It doesn't look like that much, but the fact that it did change and the median didn't would tell you a median is oftentimes the better choice when you have extreme values. And you can also see just using the shape that this is skewed. So the median is more resistant to those extreme values. You also want to look at, looking at variability, standard deviation measures variability, and so does IQR. So we already found the IQR of the top guy, right? This is the IQR of the top one. Let's find the IQR of let's find the IQR of the bottom one. Okay. The IQR down here, so 75.5 minus 61, 14.5. So an IQR is another way to measure the spread or the variability. And if you look, even with or without the outliers, the IQR isn't changing much, but the standard deviation is changing quite a bit. And that's because it's actually taking that last value and giving it a lot of credit, right? It influences the standard deviation and mean more than it influences the mean and the IQR. So therefore, it's kind of better to use when you have skewed data or data with an outlier. It's better to use median to measure the center and IQR to measure the variability.